All right.
Hey guys, so welcome to this week's Spotlight webinar, kindly hosted by Proboxx. Proboxx is your all-in-one digital logistics provider where you can manage all your shipments, your quotes, your documents, your reporting, your customer parties, all in one digital portal at the touch of a button 24/7. I'm your host, Amanda, and this week's Spotlight webinar is with Hristo Arekliev. I hope I pronounced that correctly, of Hyperzon. Welcome, Hristo. I have to put it.
Thank you, Amanda, for having me. Don't worry, it's my name is difficult even in my country, so you're pronouncing it perfectly.
Yeah, it's really hard when being in Australia, we just speak English. So foreign names and words are a challenge. So you are the founder and COO at Hyperzon, and you love to talk about Amazon and anything marketing and also anything
Absolutely.
sports related. You have a secret love of talking and singing in front of an audience. Can you give us a karaoke rendition?
Oh, for sure. Okay, you're exposing me from the get-go. So I'd say it's probably a Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. It's one
Wow.
of my favorite songs to perform. Yeah,
That's
I love that one.
impressive. I hope to hear that one day in person. That sounds amazing. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit more professional and less karaoke. We're going to be talking about what direct-to-consumer brands are missing and how Amazon is the secret ingredient to multi-channel success. And this is what obviously your agency specializes in. So
Yeah.
I'd love to know more about that, as I'm sure most of our listeners would as well. It's like what are direct-to-consumer brands leaving on money on the table for? Share more about that.
Absolutely, I will dive deep into that. So basically, many brands, when they start, let's say they start testing a few channels, but then they stick with one. Maybe they're driving traffic with Facebook or TikTok or Google. And at some point, one of these channels starts working really well for them. And they focus more and more and more on that channel, which I agree with. But at some point, they kind of get scared from getting into new channels or exploring new things because they feed themselves the idea that okay, this is working for me, it's going great, why should I change anything? Are there really any money on these other channels? They didn't work for me in the past. So I'd say this is not the right mentality to have, and you should be constantly testing, maybe try working with some other partners, or I don't know, explore a bit more. Things are changing so fast in social media, and all the rules and everything is changing. So maybe something that didn't work for you last year is going to work now, or you can just test different strategies, honestly. And I'm saying leaving money on the table because Amazon can give you so much, and it's something that we're doing by matching people's sales on Amazon. Many DTC brands ask me, are there really money on Amazon? Isn't that long gone and whatnot? But well, basically that's not the case. You can definitely make for most brands as much as you're making on your website. You can duplicate that on Amazon. Of course, in a very different way and approach, but it's absolutely doable. And most of the brands that I speak with that are like doing great on their website, they don't even have an Amazon account.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm always shocked to hear that, but at the end of the day, it ends up working very well for them. Because I just want to say one more thing is like whenever you open your Amazon account, if you already have that brand awareness on your website, there's definitely going to be a spillover. And the spillover is usually between 7 and 13%. But it is enough to give you that edge compared to all the other brands that don't have a website. So you having a website brand awareness can definitely perform better than these Amazon specific brands. And that's exactly what we do. We take these 13% and push them all the way to 100.
Amazing. Is it niche specific, or is it could be any niche as long as they've got a really
No, I wouldn't say. I won't say that. It's like it's not niche specific. The only products we don't personally work with is CBD related products and any other like drug related products or clothing and apparel. They're just more specific and different, and they're harder to promote, I'd say. So we're not focusing on these, but anything else, like absolutely anything else, could work. And yeah, one more thing, maybe bulky bulky things are also more difficult to sell. Again, not impossible, but it's just many of the strategies that we implement are not going to work for bulky products.
What are bulky products?
Bulky product, like huge products.
Oh, bulky.
Like whatever. Bulky.
Bulky.
Sorry.
There
Yeah.
goes the accent again. That's just my English ear. Yeah, totally. That makes sense as well, because it's obviously a bit more cost prohibitive. Tell me, what are the myths about Amazon that you want to like bust? Because, you know, as you said, a lot of people have resistance to Amazon. So what do you share with them, with these DTC people, when they're like, oh, I'm not sure about Amazon? What do you share to help them sort of feel that it's okay?
There are so many, to be honest. But I'm gonna start with one that you probably don't expect, but people actually expect Amazon to be easier to sell on compared to your own website, as you don't have to drive traffic to it. And many people start with, okay, I'm gonna start on Amazon. It's so much easier than on my website. No, this is totally not true, because you start competing with all of these brands that they have more reviews than yourself. They've already optimized their listings. For some people, they cannot see the difference and how superior your product is just from your main image or just by looking at it on Amazon. You know, before testing out the product themselves, it's very difficult to differentiate. So when you're just getting started on Amazon, it's actually more difficult than doing it on your own website. So my advice in 2023 would be to start a brand, push traffic to your website, have some brand awareness, push it to maybe 300K a month, and then go to Amazon. This is going to be so much easier for you than starting on Amazon.
Yeah, and I guess the learning curve as well, because it's a completely different platform.
It's absolutely different.
Yeah.
So different. Another myth is that people can set it up in a couple of days and just watch the sales rolling in. this couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, it's like Amazon, they're getting more and more restrictive. These days, it's hard to even open up a new account. Like there are 3,000 new sellers coming on the platform each week, I'd say at this point, and Amazon just, it's so difficult. Like you need to have all your documentation straight. Everything needs to be perfect in order for Amazon to approve your application. So that's very important.
Yeah, and then would you have to go through all the branding stages again, like getting your A+ content approved, getting your brand registered? You have to start all of that. Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
You have to do all of these things, and all of them take time. That's the truth. They take time. So even before you actually start selling on Amazon, you know, you need a couple of months at least. And I'd say that this is if you're proficient in it. So
yeah, which probably
it's not that easy.
No, I know. Which probably brings me to my next question, is why you know, maybe DTC brands would engage in agencies to help them through that process, such as Hyperzon. Is that something that, you know, is an advantage?
Of course. I mean, especially if you're not, if you haven't been an Amazon seller yourself. Okay, let's say you've already figured out how to drive traffic with TikTok, or you're a marketer in general. Let's say you're great in driving traffic from Facebook or Google. In my opinion, it's much better if you stick to that. In a sense, focus your energy there. Focus on your energy on creating new products, coming up with them, etc. And if you really have no idea about Amazon, I don't think that it makes sense for you to start learning this new channel, because the learning curve is endless. I've been doing that for 7 years myself, and honestly, me and my team, we're a team of 42 people at this point, and even we every now and then struggle with Amazon, because Amazon, if you're being a seller, they really don't want to help you out. Like they focus on helping out the end customer. For them, he's king, and the sellers, they treat them really, really poorly. So if you can avoid that, and if you can work with an expert, no matter if it's the Hyperzon agency or someone else, I'd say this is the best road forward if you want to really focus on growing your brand and your account rather than, just wasting time learning about this new channel. And maybe after a year, you're already not proficient in it, because trust me, there's so much to learn. And I'm saying it because I'm in all of these masterminds and groups and shared communities where whenever something comes Amazon related, I know it first. And this gives us a huge advantage compared to anyone else. So even if you learn the basics, let's say, you wouldn't be able to, to be better than your competitors if you don't excel and if you don't add something new and spicy to what's already going on.
Yeah, I love that. It's always about that, staying sort of fresh and having an agency on your side as well to help navigate you through all of that. So would you say then it would be better to build your own teams or actually engage an agency? Like, what's better?
Well, this is it's a difficult question. I'd say it's very personal. And again, if this is your, I don't know, third or fifth brand that you're growing, if you kind of know how things are happening, how things are navigating, maybe it would make some sense to build your in-house team. But again, what I've noticed from experience is that no matter the industry, even if it's not e-com, whenever somebody tries to build a new business they don't have experience with, they make these huge mistakes that they say, okay, I'm going to build a team, but they don't really know anything about it. So what happens is they hire some people that they tell them they're the best and tell them that everything's going to be all right. But if you cannot actually tell as the business owner if what they're doing is okay or it's great or it's poorly done, this is a huge problem, because you're just you're driving in the dark, because you don't know, you cannot evaluate their work. So this is a big problem. And for me, again, I'm going to say it again, it's very important. So if you are an expert in a sense, and if you're a Facebook expert, you can build a Facebook marketing team, whatever. But if you have no experience with Amazon whatsoever, I don't think it's a good idea to build a team, because you just don't know what to expect. So you'd rather work with an agency, and over time, maybe down the road in a few years, if you feel confident, maybe you can build a team.
Yeah, learn the ropes first, or have somebody on your side who can show you the way. Yeah, makes more sense. More chance of success. So I know you've got a bit of a slideshow that you want to share with us, but I think this next question is going to lead into that. So what are the challenges that a multi-channel seller or brand kind of faces? And maybe the slideshow can help sort of navigate us through that as well. So you can show some case studies.
Sure. So for sure, the first one is going to be like getting to know how to deal with the rules and peculiarities of each channel. This is definitely challenging on itself. This is why I see more and more people focusing on not only one channel, which is like their website, but using limited ways to drive traffic as well. So for example, only Facebook or only Google or only TikTok. So they want to perfect that one traffic stream before jumping into the next one. And in general, I agree with that approach, but you need to have a structured plan on when you're going to open that next channel, and if you're going to do it on your own or use an agency or else to do it. So and many people they get stuck with one traffic channel because they're scared to open the new one. You need to be testing constantly. The platforms change so much that maybe something that worked last year or didn't work last year is going to work this one. Just try new stuff.
Yeah.
Never stay idle. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. But is it better to do one channel at a time, get one right, and then move on to the next one? Or do you think it's okay to do all of them all at once? Because that seems like a lot. It seems a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, I'd say one at a time for sure. Or you need to have at least one channel that is working really, really well for you until you start looking for some other opportunities. Because again, I see people, they're like, let's do this and that and this and that, and they never do any of them right. So if you have at least one channel that's working very well for you, you're driving the traffic, you're getting the sales, you can get on Amazon, for example. Let's say you can approach an agency like ours and say, okay, let's see what we can do on Amazon. And the good thing is that our service, for example, is completely hands-off for the clients. So they come to us, they just need to give us thumbs up on the marketing budgets and be in stock, and we're going to deal with everything else, which is
Wow.
also important. Yeah.
Amazing. Sign me up. So like a full service agency essentially.
Yeah, full service, everything, even inventory planning and customer support, apart from the paid advertising and listing optimization. So it's a complete service.
Amazing.
And honestly, we decided to go that road because let's say if we do only PPC or only something else, unfortunately, the clients were doing a poor job handling the rest because, again, they're not as familiar with Amazon as we are. So it just made a lot more sense to offer this full service.
Yeah, it definitely makes more sense as a like ecosystem for the brand, because there's so many things that you can do with the brand. It's not just PPC, right? So that makes total sense.
So much more. Like, and again, if people are coming from the ad industry in general, like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or Google, they believe that PPC is everything, and they're looking for this Amazon PPC agency. But there's so many things they don't even know about, which are not related with Amazon, that are going to help your brand much more compared to just running PPC.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I know you've got some case studies to share. I would love to see them, because it would be great to see what we call the meat and potatoes in English.
Okay.
Do you guys have a saying like that? Show us the meat and potatoes. We want to.
Okay, that's an interesting saying.
We want to see the guts of what you do and how it actually works.
So,
real examples of what you do.
Perfect. Let me go quickly through that presentation. So basically, we have this strategic partnership these days with John Hefter, who is the co-founder of Thrasio, which are they're actually the largest aggregator that they started this whole hype with buying Amazon brands. And I'm very happy to share that he's helping us out with our agency. We're happy to have him on board.
Yeah, fantastic.
Right now, he's executive on the board of directors at Go North, which is the largest European aggregator. So he has quite the experience, I'd say.
Great to have him on board.
Okay, so I'm going to start with this pet supplies brand. I'll share from the get-go that we're not sharing the actual brand names, because in the Amazon space, it's not very cool to share your exact brand and product, because whenever somebody sees it on a webinar like that, they just go into the exact same product, which is it doesn't make sense for me. But people tend to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be talking with brands, but I'm going to be talking with some actual numbers. So the problem that our client had was that there isn't actually any problem with this specific case study, but we wanted to show you what happened on Prime Day and what you can achieve if you play your cards right. So for those who don't know, Prime Day is like the biggest day on Amazon. These days, they're even doing like a couple of these Prime Days throughout the year. So it's kind of like Black Friday, imagine, but only for Amazon and only for products that are in Amazon's warehouse. So which qualify for Prime. So we've been working with this brand since its launch on Amazon at the beginning of last year, and we grew them to over 1 million a month. I even say it's like 1.5 million at this point while we're having this conversation. So yeah, that's a lot of sales per day. So what we did on Prime Day specifically is we applied for all the deal slots on Prime Day and set the minimum commitment units. As Prime Day went by, we monitored how much the deals were claimed, and we increased the numbers of available units during the event. So when we saw that they were getting close to 80%, we increased the number of units, and thus created a scarcity effect. So apart from that, we made some special banner creatives with biggest sale of the year, slogans which led to the current deals, and we bombarded both our branded and non-branded keywords with them. We retargeted all the visitors that have visited but not purchased our ASINs. ASINs are products on Amazon, both with sponsored display and DSP ads. So on Amazon, you have two ways to promote your products with paid advertising. One is the AMS, which is built into the Amazon, but also they have their DSP network, which is the display network, which is providing you with this extra placements in and outside of Amazon. I'd say this is something that we can provide our clients because it's difficult to get your hands on it these days. So another thing we did is we used Prime exclusive discount when we didn't have active deals to get a Prime Day deal badge on all our products. So what happened is, you can see solely on Prime Day, we have this peak on the chart, and we sold close to $700,000 in units in one day, which is crazy because this used to be the monthly revenue a few months ago, and now we hit it in just one day.
Insane.
With all the things that we did.
There would have been a lot of planning, a lot of extra stock going into the warehouse for that one.
A lot of planning and extra stock for sure. I have to be honest that this surpassed even our wildest estimations of what we can achieve on that day, but you know, things worked out pretty well.
Amazing. Did they stock out, or were they still in stock after that?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Did they sell out, or did they still stay? Did they have enough stock to cover that the huge amount of sales?
They did have enough stock. They did have enough stock. We were prepped for that for sure.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's very bad actually to get out of stock on Amazon. I really don't recommend anyone doing it because in the eyes of Amazon, you're not trustworthy anymore. So if you run out of stock, there are a few things that nobody tells you that happen after that. But one of them is, for example, we had this client. With them, we had 46 Amazon badges. This means that the product was selling the best on all of these keywords. And we ran out of stock once because the client just couldn't supply. And afterwards, Amazon didn't give us a single Amazon badge, which was crazy. We were still selling more than everyone else, but Amazon, they didn't give us all these badges.
Was that because I have heard there's some tricks to that with this when you have a stock out, that you can do a hard reset on your flat files, and Amazon, it's like a reset for Amazon, which is supposed to help the algorithm. I'm not sure if you've tried that or if that's something you've heard about.
Yeah, of course, we've tried it, but it's not the best way to go because, you know, if you've been selling for a while, if you reset your sales, it's not the best case scenario for you, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because you already have that sales history. It's called sales history on Amazon, and yeah, probably the best way forward would be to like pause your products on the back end, and whenever you have stock in, just continue again. But you'd better not run out of stock. Just have enough stock at all costs. So the smart thing to do is just to keep enough stock in a third-party warehouse, and not only on Amazon. So whenever the stock is low, just send more in. By the way, it's crazy. I don't know if you know that, but every year you have to send stock earlier and earlier so that people can receive it on Christmas. It's just wild. I have to check what the date is this year, but it's early October. So if you don't send your stock in early October or mid-October, people will not receive their products for Christmas.
Yeah, it's crazy. The wait times for checking in products is so long at this time of the year.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let
Right,
me
fun.
move on to the second case study. We have these aromatherapy and scent diffusers. We actually had a very creative solution here for these guys. We started working with them when they were doing like around 20K a month. And right now we are averaging around 120, 130K a month. So the problem we had is that this niche is very Chinese competitive. This means that it's just
Right.
flooded with Chinese product, and most of the competitors had actually better reviews than our customers, better price, better images, and better rating. I won't delve deeper into how they're getting these reviews and these ratings, but so at the end of the day, people would ask the question, why purchase our product? There was no particular reason. So what we did is we didn't add something, but we actually removed something from the product. And this was a part that everyone in every single review was complaining about, that it has issues for them. So that way, our cost of stock went down, and we were able to price our product much lower than the competitors. So then we made new manuals which explain in detail how to use the product, so there aren't any confusions with it. We added a bonus product inside, free bottle of aroma oil, and we showed on Amazon that it's included in the box. And we subscribe to a new Better Amazon program where we get an additional Get Product Support button right inside Amazon. You can see that on the image below. And the ratings and reviews were bad. And the packaging and images didn't look premium compared to other products. So we fully rebranded the products and packaging, which I'd say is very important to everyone getting into that game in 2023. You just need to stand out. Branding is so important. So we made new listings, applied with all the listings for Vine. After that, we combined all the scents into a variation that's making the listings with more than 200 great reviews. And we started targeting our smaller size bottles of oils with the larger ones, thus making upsells. You know, you can still make upsells on Amazon, even though some people think it's impossible. And as you can see, what happened is tremendous growth in sales. We grew with 440%. So yeah, last month we finished at 135 per month. And again, it's crazy because we removed something from the product, but we were smart about it. We were like, okay, everybody's having issue with that. So at the end of the day, maybe it's not that important for the people to have it. It was more of a gimmick, you know, one of these new tech gimmicks. People can definitely live without it. So we were giving better price to the customers. We were providing a better product with no glitches, and everybody was so much happier.
That's amazing. So just in like nearly 1 quarter, you've increased the sales by over 400%.
Yeah. And in this case, less is more. You need to think outside of the box. Not always adding and adding and adding and adding to the product is going to be the best solution.
Yeah. And the packaging, like you say, the branding, like giving it a sense of quality.
Absolutely. This is very important.
Yeah.
So I think I have a couple more case studies. Do we have time for one or two? Just let me know.
Yeah, we've got maybe time for one more.
Time for one more. Okay. So let's do this. It's a feminine hygiene brand. It's a very interesting niche. Honestly, I didn't know about this niche before we started working with this client. So they're selling teen period kits and tween pads. So these are basically pads for girls that are not even teenagers yet. So they're like 8 to 12 years old. But, you know, it seems that it's time for them to grow up quickly.
Yeah.
So our clients, they've worked before with an agency, but their product didn't really start selling, as they didn't even launch it because of compliance issues. So we dealt with all of that. We work closely with them and reviewing all the documents if they match Amazon's criteria in order to allow them to sell this product. We implemented an initial review strategy with Vine. We introduced single paths, single products, and started pushing the customers of the kits towards subscribing to the single products of the kit. It's very important these days to push people towards subscribe and save on Amazon, especially if you have a product that fits that, which is the case with the period paths.
Yeah.
We created great visuals that really stand out when placed next to the competitors. Unfortunately, I cannot show you that again. And we bombarded all of the competitors very heavily with ads on all available placements. So there's just no way for us not to be seen and noticed. So again, we started working with them when they were barely doing anything. And we've been doing an extra $25,000 each month since we started working together.
Amazing.
So in just a few months, we grew the account to 110,000 from basically zero. And we're still growing by the day and by the hour. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
sometimes.
And do these guys all have branding, sorry, other channels?
Brand registry?
Sorry, not brand.
All of them have, yeah, all of them have their own website. So all of them are selling through their own website, which again, I highly recommend, as it's just the best way forward, in my opinion. Start on your own website, get some results, and then open up a new channel.
Yeah.
Because this way you're not starting from zero. You're not an unknown brand. You already have that credibility, that brand recognition. So it's much easier for you to scale.
Yeah, it does seem like the logical way to do things, but I know there are people out there who will literally just launch on Amazon straight away and then think about the website, you know, and think about selling on other channels.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
is not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just much more difficult. If you're starting off Amazon, you need to have a very unique, trendy product that is still not super popular.
Yeah.
You need to be one of the first to sell that product. And honestly, that's very difficult to achieve.
Yeah.
Because many times from the moment you see product niche on Amazon to the actual moment that you start selling the product, it's usually at least 3 months. And in these 3 months, you will see that the market is already flooded with the same product, because many people are having the same observation, they're they're reaching the same conclusion, and they're launching the exact same product. So it's very difficult to be there on time.
Yeah, agree. And having that website just gives you so much more of a solid platform to launch elsewhere.
Yeah, and it's cheap, and it's cheaper at the end of the day, because on your website you can test, first of all, different traffic channels. You can see what's working, what's not working, get familiar with your audience, because there are a lot of things that Amazon is not giving you in terms of information about the customer. And when you're doing it on your website, you have all of that data that you can base afterwards your decisions on it. So it's, you know, in my opinion, it has much more advantages selling on your website for starters in 2023 than starting on Amazon.
Totally. Especially having that customer database where you can actually communicate to them directly. Yeah. Whereas Amazon's very protective of that. It's much harder to connect.
Yep.
Awesome, Hristo. I know we're out of time. I wish we could keep going, but we are over time. I want to thank you for your presentation. That's super impressive. Anybody out there that has a DTC brand that is thinking about expanding on Amazon, or even has a specific problem, it sounds like you guys are incredible at coming up with amazing strategies to increase sales for brands. So what's the way that they can reach you? I know you've got a special offer, but also, yeah, maybe we can also share more about that as well.
Absolutely. So basically, if you are a brand that is doing at least 300K a month on the US market, or maybe you're doing 200K in Australian dollars on the Australian market, we'll be more than happy to look into your brand and see how you can expand to Amazon. Maybe you're already on Amazon, but it's not working out for you. So we can help with that, and just follow the Calendly link that Amanda is going to drop on that webinar. and we are going to do an audit absolutely free of charge on your account on Amazon, tell you what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. If you're not on Amazon, we're just going to investigate the niche and tell you what your competitors are doing currently and how you can get there and start dominating that niche.
That sounds super exciting. Yeah, I'll definitely pop that link up in the description of the YouTube video once I upload that. And we'll send that out to our database as well. And I'm sure you'll share it with your community. Thank you so much, Hristo. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure as well.
Thanks. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye for now.